Welcome to Sunrise, first light for what's next on B2B revenue teams. Lots to cover today, so let's dive in. Picture this. You've got a revenue team, right? They're responsible for leads for a pretty big business, like $100 million, but they're missing targets. Big time. Now, this specific deep dive, it's really drawing on insights about these kinds of organizational bottlenecks and what high-performing teams do differently. It might just change how you think about growth. So this team, every Friday they had this meeting, called it TOFT, top of the funnel. Kind of catchy, right?
Cuffed.
Yeah.
Marketing was there, BD, partnerships, growth leaders, everyone. And they looked at everything when things got tough. Processes, campaigns, metrics, you name it.
The usual suspects.
Totally. But nothing changed. Same people attended, same meeting rhythm, same dashboards, the breakthrough. It came when they finally locked themselves in a room just to debate one thing.
And that was?
The questions. The questions that were driving their entire agenda.
Ah, okay. And that right there, that's fascinating because it plugs straight into this core idea, the theory of constraints. Basically, the theory tells us your growth. It's only ever as fast as your biggest bottleneck.
Right.
So for a revenue leader who's, got some courage, the job is actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
Find the constraint, fix the constraint, repeat.
Find it, fix it, repeat. Simple, but not easy, I bet.
Well, the key, like in that TOFT story, is asking better questions. It really comes down to that. The wrong questions. They just obscure the real problem. They hide it. But the right questions, they bring everything into the light. They reveal it.
But here's something I've seen. Sometimes teams think they're asking good questions, but they still hit a wall. Is there like a hidden trap there?
Oh, absolutely. That's a super common scenario. Most teams get completely stuck in what we call the trap of output-oriented questions.
Output-oriented, like what?
You know the ones, how many calls did we make? How many emails went out? How many campaigns launched this week?
Right, counting stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those questions, they produce activity. Lots of it sometimes.
Right.
But that activity, it isn't momentum. It's just noise, busyness.
Activity isn't momentum. I like that. So this idea of measuring friction instead of just motion, that sounds powerful. What does that actually look like, on the ground?
Yeah, that's really where the leverage is. If you genuinely want to find the constraint, you have to stop just measuring the motion, the activity, and start measuring the friction. Where are things getting stuck? Where's the drag?
Yeah.
The team's growing fastest. They swap out those output questions for what we call momentum questions.
Momentum questions, okay.
And these questions, they're kind of organized around the three main arenas where constraints love to hide. Think. Mindset, systems, and execution.
All right, let's break those down. First one, mindset. The question is, where are the constraints?
Right. Constraints here mean the immediate obstacles slowing you down right now. What's actively in the way?
And what if a team just can't answer that? Like they draw a blank.
Well, if your team can't actually name a specific constraint, that often signals a mindset problem. Seriously, I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
It usually means one of two things. Either people don't feel safe enough to actually call out the real issue.
The psychological safety thing.
Exactly. Or they're just kind of blind to it, maybe too close to the problem. Examples could be maybe the solutions you're selling just aren't landing with key segments anymore.
Okay.
Or you haven't backfilled critical roles fast enough and things are grinding to a halt because of it. Or maybe, and this one's common, you're chasing too many shiny objects, those nice-to-have projects, instead of the real needle movers.
Gotcha.
Point is, if you can't name the constraint, you can't track it down, you can't follow it, and if you can't follow it, well, you're definitely not going to fix it.
That really makes you rethink all those status update meetings, doesn't it? Where everyone just lists activities.
Instead of talking about why things aren't working.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so mindset is first. What's the second arena?
Yeah.
Systems.
Systems, exactly.
Okay.
And the question here is, where are the blind spots?
Blind spots. So the constraints you don't see coming, like the pothole you hit at full speed.
Precisely. That's a great way to put it. These are the things that can derail you unexpectedly.
Yeah. And similar to the first point, if your team can't name any potential blind spots, that points towards a systems challenge. Meaning you probably lack the built-in loops for gathering feedback or spotting market shifts early or, surfacing risks before they blow up. You need to actually build these loops into your regular operating rhythm. Things like rigorous win-loss reviews.
Not just asking, did we win?
No, digging into the why. Also, competitor monitoring, what are they really up to? Regular customer check-ins, pipeline risk mapping. Blind spots could be anything, really. A subtle market shift you're missing. A competitor quietly dropping prices where it hurts. Maybe a key decision maker leaves your champion account mid-deal and there's no successor mapped out.
Yeah. Or even something simpler, like a known best practice, say, using shorter email subject lines because they perform better, that just hasn't been adopted across the whole team yet.
Little things that add up.
They really do. Because the constraint you can't see, that's almost always the one that's going to hurt the most down the line.
Okay, that makes sense. Mindset, systems, what's the third one? Execution.
Execution. And the question shifts slightly. Where should we double down?
So this isn't about fixing something broken necessarily.
Not always, no. Sometimes the biggest constraint is simply that you're not putting enough resources, enough oxygen on the things that are already working really well.
Like finding your winners and betting bigger on them.
Exactly. If the team knows something's really working, but they just can't seem to scale it up, that's an execution constraint. It often points to a lack of resources, maybe budget, maybe people. Or it could be a process issue, something clunky stopping you from doing more of the good stuff. Or maybe you lack the right tooling.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about a specific marketing campaign that's converting at twice the normal rate.
Right.
Or a partnership that's suddenly yielding a stream of super high-quality leads. Or maybe a specific sales motion, a way of selling that's clearly speeding up deal velocity. These are bright spots. They're opportunities just begging for more focus, more investment. That's an execution challenge. How do we multiply this success?
Okay. Mindset, systems, execution. Find the constraints, spot the blind spots, double down on what works. So tying this all together, what's the big takeaway for someone listening?
Well, it all comes back to that core heartbeat of the theory of constraints. It's a loop. First, find the bottleneck. Where's the friction? Second, follow it. Really dig in until you understand it deeply. Don't just put a Band-Aid on it. And third, fix it. Address the root cause so that growth can start flowing freely again.
Find it, follow it, fix it.
That's the mantra.
Yep.
And you don't get there by just, running more reports or scheduling more meetings. That often just adds to the noise. You get there by asking these better questions. Questions that cut right through all that activity noise and point directly at what's actually slowing you down.
And why does this approach work so much better? Thinking back to that TOFT team.
Yeah, the TOFT team. When they shifted from those output questions, how many calls, how many emails, to these momentum questions we've been talking about, the constraint became visible. Every single week they could see it.
So it wasn't hidden anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the results. Bottlenecks that used to linger for weeks started clearing up in days. Blind spots. They started spotting them before they turned into massive fire drills. And those high-impact plays, the things that were really working, they actually got multiplied and scaled instead of just fizzling out.
Wow, okay.
So you see, better questions don't just get you slightly better answers. They fundamentally change what you focus on. They shine a bright light directly on the constraint. When you find it, follow it, and fix it. That's how you accelerate growth. It's almost inevitable.
Find it, follow it, fix it. Powerful stuff. It leaves us with a challenge, doesn't it? So, thinking about everything we just discussed, what's the constraint you'll follow this week?